Welcome to our KidZone meeting. Just so you guys know who I am, if you don't know me, my name is Tyler, and I'm the next generation pastor here. And it's so good to see you guys, and I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you guys are watching as well, if you are watching. And I've kind of been tasked to take over I've been the next gen pastor, but to fully kind of have full control of what is happening kids through 18. So my primary focus is still going to be 6th grade through 12th grade, but right now, because we have no kids ministry coordinators or anyone. It's just me. So we are looking to hire. So if you know of someone, or if you're like, I've been looking for a kids ministry position, come on in, Ellie. I've been looking for a kids ministry position to do something. Like, we'd love to have you apply, or if you have someone who you think would be a great fit, to have them apply as well. We're looking for an elementary coordinator and a early childhood coordinator. Both are part-time positions, about 25 hours a week. And so we just put it in the bulletin this last week, and we're going to be posting about it on social media next week, and just trying to get the word out as much as we can to get some, to get the right person in here. The goal is to get someone who believes in the Crossroads vision, and who we want who wants to invest and really take charge and own the ministry. So I'm here as kind of, I will end up ultimately being kind of the oversight and that check-in with that person, but sooner or later, hopefully someone will be stepping in and kind of being your main point of contact while I'm still there just checking in and connecting with you guys. But at least for our start, I'm going to be the one, and I'll go into a little bit more details about coaches and what roles that they're going to be playing. But so that's kind of where we're at here at Crossroads. And I'm excited about this opportunity that we have. Our plan is to start up March 7th. That's when we've been communicating, or that's what we've been communicating. And I'm going to be honest, we've already been doing student ministries, and it's been very small. And I don't expect us to come back and it just be back to the way it used to be. And so I've been actually in contact, I was in contact with the lady who kind of is in charge of our curriculum and stuff, and she kind of gave me some pointers on hey, this is what a lot of churches are doing as they're starting. Number one, we're not doing the whole let's do the big thing and then break off into small groups and all that other stuff, because a lot of times these kids just need to have that time to connect and play just to start off. And so a lot of our time, we will still be doing our large group stuff, but we will be also letting them play a little bit more to build those relationships back again, students or kids that they haven't seen for maybe a year, and especially leaders too. I know we haven't been meeting with kids for almost, actually I think March 7th will be the pretty much exact 1-year anniversary of us having our last Sunday service, which is crazy to think. It's been a full year that we haven't had kids ministry. So we just really believe in the importance of bringing families back here. And I'm going to harp on a little bit more as we get into the mission of the importance of connecting with the families and engaging parents. And so my heart is to connect with these parents. And so the first couple weeks, I'm just going to be floating at the beginning of services and just meeting parents and connecting. We want to resource parents. We want to be there for parents and help them be able to lead their kids at home, whether their kids are in Explorers and you're just holding them as a baby, or whether they're in 5th grade and about to launch into student ministries. And even into student ministries, we want to still be connecting with parents and resourcing them as best as we can, so that we can be, as a church that resources and helps parents out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to walk through this KidZone thing. I have a whole structure of outline. So, hey, Caitlin, I have a whole structure outline of what my plan is to do, and I'm going to try to keep up with that schedule as best as I can so I can get you guys out of here by 8:30. So that means I am going to kind of rush through this, but I will give you guys some time at the end if you have questions, and we can do those. You guys have pens, so if you need to write down questions that you have, then feel free to do that. So we're going to flip open to the first, actually page 3. As you see, page 2 is just kind of this structure. These handbooks are yours, so if you need to grab them, and you're like, hey, I don't remember what this is, and you want to look back, then you have it. You get to keep it. It is my gift to you, a big book of paper. Sweet. So about KidZone, here's our mission statement. We did rework this a little bit, and which includes the part of the parents and resourcing and partnering with parents. So KidZone at Crossroads exists to provide a safe and engaging environment as we partner with parents, encouraging kids to connect to God and each other, grow to become like Jesus, and go serving Jesus by serving others. And so we want that even from like a little kid in Explorers. We want them to be able to get to know people that are in their group, in their Explorers group, know who Jesus is, but then also, even as Explorers, when it says serve, like how are they going to serve? Well, you can teach them to share, and we can talk about the importance of sharing, and that's like a win for like the Explorers kids, the 3-year-olds, and then all the way on up to even like 5th and 6th grade, like these girls are serving in 3rd and 5th, right? 4th grade? Sorry. Oh, my bad. 4th and 5th grade, but we want kids to be serving and getting involved. We want students, middle school and high school students, to get involved serving because we really believe that serving is what helps students and kids stick in the church and understand the importance of getting outside themselves and giving. And so that's the whole, like, we want them to connect in, feel like they're part of the body of Christ, grow, understand their knowledge of Jesus, and start to serve others. Our vision statement is to help each kid who steps into the room to encounter the love of Jesus and choose to serve him with their lives. So we really believe in the transforming work of Christ, and we want these kids to start to see that. A lot of times, kids don't really fully grasp and understand until they're about in middle school. Middle school is usually the time where their faith kind of turns on their own, but we can do the preparation work ahead of time to make sure that they are set up and knowing who Christ is and that Christ loves them. And Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So our core values, number 1, safety. We are committed to creating a safe and welcoming environment, physically, emotionally, relationally, emotionally, and spiritually. 2, Christ-centered team leadership. We are committed to having leaders work as a team to show Christ to each other, to each kid who walks into the KidZone. I am a really big believer in team, and I will talk about that when we talk about our pre-service leader huddles and stuff. I really believe it's important for us to connect as a team, not just like, hey, I come on Sunday, I serve, and I get to know some of the leaders, but whatever. But no, we work as a team. We are all on the same vision, all on the same path, trying to bring these kids to know who Jesus Christ is. Relevance. We are committed to reaching the kids in our community where they are and addressing the issues that they face every day. That's part of the reason why we do this orange curriculum, is because we really believe it's some of the best out there that is relevant to them. It's not curriculum that gets reused. It's stuff that they are continuously producing depending on the season that we're in too. And so it's been really good. Some of the stuff needs to be worked through and stuff, and we're going to figure out what's the best stuff out there, especially in the Wired and Brink age. That curriculum they offer so much, and so to narrow it down to who we are, we want to do better at that to make sure that it's relevant to our kids. And then number 4, a value, is partnering with parents. Parents have about 50 times more time with their kids than we do. We are committed to equip parents to help lead their kids in the faith from home. And so part of that is going to be on me as the next gen pastor. I've been talking to Ed about this vision that I have to start a parent group, but not just like a parent like small group, but more of a parent class. I'm not a parent. I don't really know what it's like to be a parent, but I have been around students for over 12 years, and I've seen multiple types of parenting. But the biggest thing is I've been involved in Next Gen ministry for all those 12 years as well. And so I know I have resources that I think would be very good. And so I came across a very good resource that I think would be very good to walk parents through. Then I don't have to teach it because I'm not a parent. And that resource will be able to provide great things. It's called Intentional Parenting. How do we parent in a quick fix world? And so my plan is to start doing that in springtime. And so we're trying to figure out when the best time to do that is. But we really want to resource our parents well to be able to lead well from home. All right, so here's a quick little rundown. I'm just going to skim through this because a lot of you guys have already gone through this. But the process of becoming a volunteer, I just have it here just in case I end up having to walk through someone who's never done it before. Number one is the initial contact with the potential leader. You guys have already had that. KidZone director and the potential leader meet. Hear their story, walk through KidZone training materials, which is this handbook. Potential leader gets background check and application paperwork, which I have in case you are new, and then you turn that in before you start shadowing with the kids. Potential leader gets access to Ministry Safe, and if you do not have access to Ministry Safe, or if you've never done that before, I'm going to hook you up with something that is not fun to watch, but it is very important for the safety of our church. And so I have my middle school and high school leaders go through this. And if you are under 18, it's not as necessary because you guys are more junior helpers. But anyone who's 18 and over has to go through this. And so it is about an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours if you haven't done it. Or if you have done it, but you did it like over 2 years ago, you're going to have to do it again. I'm sorry. I had to do it too, twice. So you shadow. Number 4, follow-up contact. Hey, did you like your shadowing? Do you want to serve there, or do you want to shadow somewhere else? 5, finish Ministry Safe before you actually start serving, and then you'll get a T-shirt and Planning Center invite and all that stuff. I'm a huge proponent of Planning Center. It just works, and it helps schedule, though it takes a lot of training. For you guys, and I will train you. I will help you with this. All you have to do is click the little accept button when you get the email saying, yes, I can serve, or decline, no, I can't serve. That's why I need a useful email that actually goes to you. And we'll get you set up with that. But that is a great way for getting out material so you guys know what is coming up, looking at the schedule of the week, and also just letting us know if you're going to be there or not. Next page, this is page 5, opportunities to serve. Those are all the different things. I'm not going to go through those, but it's at least there. So if you guys are new and really don't have a specific place that you serve already, then that's something that you guys can take a look at on your own. Also, for those of you who are younger, you guys can kind of look through the different leader stages here. What I've noticed, I went through and kind of cleaned up this whole handbook, and it might end up, there still might be some mistakes in it, but one thing that I try to do is clean up establishing a junior leader versus youth leader versus student leader, and what does that look like in the ages and the adult leader, and what they can do during that time. So I'm not going to run through that just because it's not as necessary. But if you are in a certain group, like if you're a 6th to 12th grader, then you guys can kind of read that little paragraph there. If you're younger, you can read that paragraph there. So, all right, the walk intentionally. I know I'm going through this fast because I want to be cognitive of your time. So, walk intentionally. So, this is all very important stuff. So, as walk, warm heart and welcoming personality. A happy heart is like good medicine, but a broken spirit drains your strength. Proverbs 17:22. As parents and kids come into our ministry, we want their first interaction to be a positive one. As this verse reminds us, a happy and warm heart is like good medicine to the person on the receiving end of your smile. So it does matter on Sundays. Well, actually, it's not really, because I'll get to the COVID stuff. As we're going to be wearing masks, it's not really the smile. It's more of your eyes. Like, if you can figure out, like, I'm really mad, but you can put your eyes up, then that might work. But you can show that you're happy to see someone just through your eyes. A cheerful look brings joy to the heart. See, a cheerful look, an eye. And good news gives health to the bones. Proverbs 15:30. When parents and kids come to the area or age group that you are serving in, be mindful of the expressions that you give off. A happy face and a welcoming personality can calm an anxious child or parent. What are you saying when you don't open your mouth? So what are you saying just in the way that you are welcoming and just showing that, hey, I'm so happy that the kid is here. I'm so happy to see you as a parent. Number A, arrive early for your serving opportunity. Don't act thoughtlessly, but try to find out and do whatever the Lord wants you to. Ephesians 5:17. So arriving early for your ministry opportunity will get you off on the right foot. If you arrive early and prepared, participate in the pre-service leader huddle, and have surrendered your heart to the Lord, you will have a great time. God can only do through you what he is already doing in you. So if you come prepared, God's already kind of working in you, then God's going to use you in that morning as you serve the kids. If you arrive late to your ministry opportunity, you will always feel rushed and a little behind. Arriving early will be central to your success as a Crossroads KidZone leader. We ask that you arrive at least 30 minutes prior to ministry start time. So with that being said, right now, we are only opening up for second service. The reason why is just trying to get at least enough people. It'll be like if there's like one kid there and like 5 leaders, like, oh, hey, buddy. So we want to try to see if we can do this just second service. That's what our goal is right now. So if you guys want to attend at 9, we are working on trying to get done with services by 10. So then you have 15 minutes to kind of settle and all that stuff, and then 10:15 get upstairs or downstairs, wherever. We'll kind of figure out where the leader huddle is going to be for the different age group. And then we'll meet and discuss kind of what the day looks like and that stuff. Yeah, quick question. If you have kiddos, I don't know. We'll figure that out. I haven't thought that through, so if I'm being honest, but we'll figure something out. One thing that I know that we have done or that's happened is like we can leave like a junior leader in there just to kind of watch, because they're only going to be, leader huddles are going to be right outside the room, not like, oh, we're going off somewhere. So they're still going to be able to keep an eye if we need. So, L, leading and learning are important in Crossroads KidZone. Be shepherds over the flock God has entrusted to you. Watch over it as God does. Don't do this because you have to, but because you want to. Don't do it out of greed, but out of a desire to serve. So 1 Peter 5, 2 through 6. So leading kids involves heart, motivation, skill, honor, tactfulness, awareness, and lots of energy. And because we believe things are more often caught than taught, leading kids also means being a role model to them. As they see you interact with other kids, as they see you interact with them, they're going to catch that. And this includes how you speak to other leaders, how you react to a difficult situation, and how you conduct yourself outside the church doors and on social media. Remember, it's not just like connecting with the kids, but also with their parents as well as they see. Learning, number 1, attending church services weekly. If you are going to pour into these kids, you must make sure that you are being poured into. We have a serve one, go to one process. This means that on the Sundays that you serve, you will spend one service serving in a kids area and attending the other service. Number 2, your relationship with Christ. We encourage you to maintain an active relationship with the Lord and stay connected to other believers. This includes getting involved in a life group, attending growth classes, and spending personal time with the Lord. I really believe, like I said, God can only do through you what he is already doing in you. So if you're feeling dry and barren and empty, and like a lot of us maybe have felt that during this COVID time, like spend some time in the Lord, fill up, and when God can do what he's doing in you, then you can start to pour more into these kids. K, know your purpose. Number 1, make an effort. Everyone has days off. Don't lose sight of what the mission is and how you fit into that mission. You might have not been able to sleep at all on Saturday night. I just sometimes, there's some Sundays I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. But you know what? I'm going to rally for these kids. I'm going to rally for these students, and I want to do the best for them. I want to teach the best. I want to connect with them the best as I can in that moment. Number 2, be prepared. Sunday morning is not the time to be reading your lesson. We will send you the necessary materials you will need prior to the weekend service. You should come prepared and ready to focus on the mission. Connect kids to God and others. So number 3, own it. This is your ministry. This is your mission. Invest in it and watch the Lord bless your life through it. I am a person, I love teams. I also love kind of like sending people. I am not a micromanager. Some of you guys probably have a lot more experience in kids than I do. Most of my kids' experiences have been certain kids' camps or working alongside a kids director or just like kind of seeing from a distance. I haven't been as hands-on on a Sunday morning process like many of you guys have, and many of you guys have been probably doing this for years and years and years. So I trust you guys, and I want you to own it. If you see something that could be cleaner or could be better run, like fix it, or let me know, hey, I think this could be fixed in this way. Don't just complain, like tell me a constructive criticism of like, hey, but we could do this instead. The more you guys own, the more you guys get excited about the ministry, the more this thing is just going to thrive. And one of the things that we also believe too, and this is straight from Ed's mouth too, because Ed and I have been talking about this, that we really believe that when kids ministry is running well, then the church is healthy and the church will continue to grow. So because we really believe that many parents, many families will come to Crossroads because they see a healthy kids ministry and they want their kids to be part of that and to be learning about Jesus through it. So, all right, here's the KidZone Leader responsibilities. How am I doing on time? Not bad. All right, so I'm actually only going to read through this first part, and then I'm going to just do a quick explanation of the coach part. So volunteer. This is kind of your responsibility as a volunteer. Arrive on time, attend pregame leader huddle, meet and greet kids, and any parents that you see. So you might not be like the main service leader, but you might run into some parents. Greet them, say hi, hello. Don't just like, oh, hey, kid, what's up? But don't be afraid of the parents. I'm more talking to you younger ones too. Like, hey, how are you doing? How's your week going? That type of thing. Engage kids during service time. So that's one of the big things. The kids might be a little off the wall as they're coming back. I've been noticing that with some of the middle schoolers. Like they kind of come back and they're a little crazy because they can't really get their energy out because they're like doing school on Zoom and stuff. And so we might still have that experience with kids as well. They might need to run around. So that's okay, but help corral them when they need to be corralled, and make sure that you kind of have an eye and make sure that things are safe, because remember, one of our core values is safety. But like when we are getting into that large group meeting time, or hey, we're going into worship, if there's a kid who's just totally disengaged or disrupting, then you can like, hey, come stand over near me, or just tap on the shoulder and just say shh. Whatever works with that kid. Every kid is different, and that might take some time to figure out what connects with them. But those are ways that you can help kids engage, and you can engage kids during service time. Report any questions or concerns to a coach or a staff. I'll explain what a coach is. But if you have questions or concerns, or like I said, if you guys have better ideas, let us know. And then help reset the rooms for the following service, close rooms after service. So that just basically means a quick cleanup. I'll go over some COVID procedures a little bit later about what the COVID cleanup looks like there. But because right now our plan is just to do one service, it allows us to really do a cleanup after and not have to do a big cleanup in between. Once we go to the 2 services, then we will probably have to work through some of those details. But service leader responsibilities. So this is someone who's actually teaching. This is someone who's telling the Bible stories. And so they have to go through Connect 101. If you guys haven't gone through Connect 101 before, I highly encourage it. We are actually doing one in like March 18th, I think it is. 14th, 21st. Somewhere in mid-March, somewhere in there, we're doing a Connect 101 class. It's like the first one that we've done in over a year. So if you have not done that, I highly encourage you to get to know who we are at Crossroads. And so a service leader is dependable and reliable. Having already looked through the lesson beforehand, they also arrive on time. They attend pre-service leader huddle and assist in the huddle when necessary because they are in a little bit higher leadership position. Also meet and greet parents as they drop their kids off. So usually we want the person who's kind of like the leader of the classroom, like the main leader for that week, to be like the first face that they see, that the parents and the kids see, just greeting and saying, hey, we're so happy that you're here, that type of thing. So meet and greet parents as they drop off their kids, meet and greet the kids, engage kids during service time, facilitate the observation and training of new volunteers. So if you're a leader of a room and we have a new volunteer coming in, we might say, hey, this person's shadowing, can you kind of give them and show them the ropes, that type of thing. Lead in small groups or large group settings, report any questions, concerns to a coach or staff, and help reset the rooms following the service or close the room after service. And then also assist in evacuation procedures when needed, which we will go through that because we believe that's important. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but a coach is a position that, especially during this time when there might be times that I need to be teaching in here with the students, I'm going to be having a coach who's going to have the walkie-talkie and who's going to be walking back and forth, checking in on rooms and making sure that you guys are there. My wife is one of them, Jordan. I've already talked to her about it. And she's worked on staff here before. She knows the run of the kids ministry stuff. But she'll go and just check to make sure that everything's running properly. And the nice thing is what I'm doing here on Sundays is not that big of a deal. So if she needs to grab me and pull me, then I can say, hey, you guys do this little thing in Student Center. And then I can go take off and take care of what I need to take care of. So we will be having that person. I'll make sure during the pre-service leader huddle that the coach checks in to each of the groups of the pre-service leader huddle and just say, hey, I'm the coach today. If you guys need me or if you need anything, just let me know. So we will be having some floaters there. All right, equipping and empowering. Crossroads Kids Ministry is committed to our leaders. We have specific times of encouraging, equipment, energizing, empowering, and evaluating, and this is one of those times. So the pre-service leader huddle is also a big time too. So this happens 25 minutes before service. Well, you said I had to be here 30 minutes before service. Yes, 30 minutes so you can get your name tag, you can kind of get settled in, drop off your stuff that you need, and then 25 minutes we'll start meeting, and then we'll break after about 10, 15 minutes, then you guys can then greet the kids as they're entering and all that stuff. But this is a time of fellowship with your team of volunteers with the purpose on focusing your hearts on the ministry, being encouraged, receiving any last-minute instructions or preparations, and praying together as a team. So in this leader huddle, we pray, dedicating the coming service to the Lord and asking him to fill us with his presence. We remind you of things when something is important. We say it multiple times. We remind our volunteers of anything specific for the day and any time sensitive announcements that you guys need to know. And then we also encourage. We at Crossroads always want to be encouraging, or at least whoever I appoint as the coaches or myself as well, we want to be encouraging to you guys because we're just so thankful for the work that you guys are doing in the lives of these kids. it does make a difference. It doesn't just make a difference in their lives, it makes a difference in our church. And so you guys are doing amazing work for the bigger picture of Crossroads as well. Weekly Ministry Connect, this will just be, I know that there's been Planning Center and regular emails sent to you. We're going to figure out how best to do that. There might be emails at first saying, hey, this is what's happening, and Planning Center, but I might start pushing you guys towards Planning Center, or my emails, or the Weekly Connect also might be text messages too. I work with my volunteer leaders. I work better with text messages, and I think they do too. They respond more than with emails. I think emails can get lost, but I also email when I feel necessary too. So we'll figure out what works with you guys as well. Area training, we'll do that every couple times a year, just little check-ins and that stuff. There might be another training like this after like 2 months, because we're totally not doing this right, and we need to redo how we're doing ministry. Because coming back from COVID, who knows? Like, what we used to do might not work anymore. I don't know, but I think we just need to start and figure it out, that type of idea. Annual, we'll at least connect. I usually like to meet in the fall at the beginning of the school year, after the summer. Hey, we're all coming back from vacations and all that other stuff, so I'll try to do some sort of like night meeting like this in the summer, or hopefully we'll have our kids people there, so they will have a meeting and I will just be here enjoying and cheering them on. And then training, there's going to be, if we have other trainings, we're going to give you guys those things. So, all right, I'm only 2 minutes behind. So, Crossroads, kids, general safety reminders. Let's go through some safety things that are very important. All KidZone volunteers, leaders must wear proper identification while serving. So Explorers, leader t-shirts and or apron lanyards are not required for Explorers because of the kids, like, and the dangling things and all that stuff. But Cruisers, Wired, and Brink, a leader t-shirt and a lanyard. Your lanyard, you will have your name, it'll have the KidZone logo, it'll have all that stuff. And if you don't have a t-shirt, I have t-shirts here with me, so I can get you those as well. We did rebrand, but the t-shirts don't have the rebranding. But we're going to get new t-shirts with the new rebranding soon. Hopefully soon. Safety team. Our safety team is on site, so we do have a safety team that is always wandering, and they are on site every service, and we have one team member in the auditorium, one team member roaming the building, and one team member watching the security cameras. If you feel uncomfortable with a person hanging around the kids' areas, or if you see someone suspicious, please alert a coach or a staff member, including myself, and the safety team will handle the situation. That is part of the ministry safe training. The ministry safe training will help you understand, okay, I'm uncomfortable with this person. It helps you kind of have a gauge on people and what to look for to keep the kids protected and safe. Bathroom safety reminders. All children 2 years old through grade 3 must be accompanied to the bathroom by a female leader, 14 years or older. The leader must take no less than 2 and no more than 4 children to the restroom at one time. Kids in Brink may go to the restroom without an adult leader. However, they must always go in groups of 2. No child may ever go to the restroom alone. And so that's just for the safety, making sure no kids get kidnapped or anything, just in between cruisers in there or whatever. Just making sure that we have a safe environment. Medical procedures. Typically, an injury can be treated with a little tender, loving care, a cool cloth, and a Band-Aid, but we need to be prepared for everything. We keep a well-stocked first aid kit in all the kids' areas. Please treat the child, and they're all labeled. You guys probably can't see it, but they're all labeled with a big, like, first aid marker. Does it say medical supplies on it? Medical supplies. So there's those that are labeled. I think like Wired and Brink, they're in the tech booth area. Explorers, I don't know where it is in Explorers. Cruisers, it's right near the entrance. So so we keep it well-stocked. Please treat the child and complete the ouch report. Ouch reports are in duplicate, so you can give one copy to the parent and the other to a staff member, or place in the children's offering. Oh, kids offering. Oh, one thing that I'm doing, we're calling it KidZone. And so if you see in here, like I'm calling them kids a lot. When I talk about kids birth through 5th grade, I'm going to call them kids. And I also encourage, especially Wired and Brink, call them kids. A lot of, especially Brink kids, they don't, oh, you're such a young child. They're like, don't call me child. Like, I don't think a 4th and 5th grader likes to be called child. I think explorers and cruisers, that's fine if it says child. But I kind of changed it to kid just to be consistent with KidZone and try to just, hey, that's what we say, verbiage, all that stuff. So that's why I said that, because I forgot to change it into, it says children's offering. It should be kids offering. Or a place in the kids offering container in your room. Please talk with the parent upon the arrival and let them know what happened. A staff member will follow up with the parent if necessary the following week. Keep in mind that we are not authorized to dispense any over-the-counter or prescription medications. In the event a child needs more attention than we can provide, the parent will be notified. In serious injuries involving broken bones, convulsions, fainting, unconsciousness, or other serious bodily injury should be treated as follows. Keep calm and keep kids and injured person as calm as possible. Speak calmly to them. Do not move the injured kid and do not leave them alone. Send another teacher to find a coach or a staff member for assistance. Or I think there's walkie-talkies in the room too. And the coach or staff member will contact someone from our first response team, or if necessary, they will call 911. We do have a first response team that is during our services. There's always someone on our first response team, and they could be there's some sort of medical professional, whether a doctor or a nurse or paramedic or something like that. We have a team that was put together. Yes, that is the medical first aid kit. Yes, in each Brink and Wire, they're in the tech room. Cruisers is right out against the wall, and Explorers is somewhere. But I know that we do keep them on purpose there, in case someone gets hurt. All right, so if we need to call 911, we will. The coach or staff member will contact the parent and advise them of the kid's situation. The staff member will refer to the parents for details on doctor or hospital preferences. And if the kid is to be transported to a hospital and the parent cannot be located, the staff member will go with them. The staff member will follow up with the parent as needed, and all volunteers and staff members involved in the emergency should write out a report of what happened immediately following the emergency. So if a kid does break a bone or something like that, don't just be like, oh, I'm so glad I passed that off to the staff member who just showed up. I get to take off now. We will want like a written report of what happened. For multiple reasons, but that just keeps us updated on what's happening. If a kid has an existing medical condition, it should be printed on their name tag along with any directions that may be needed with it as well. Classroom evacuations. Read and understand the evacuation route for your classroom. So just so you guys know, if you flip over to the next page, it's an evacuation map. And it lets you know if in case anything happens and we need to evacuate, then we go, like cruisers will go out this door, Wired will come down the stairs, the back stairs, and go out this door. Brink will go out the back stairs and go out the side door, or they'll go out the front, and Explorers will go out the front. So that's how it is. And then as you see too, we will all meet kind of in the far corner. So if an evacuation does happen, before evacuating, count the number of kids in your class. You should already know that ahead of time with some sort of attendance reports, because the coaches are going to be dropping off those attendance reports. Take your printed roster with you. Call roll again when you arrive safely to the area that you are evacuated to, which is that corner of the parking lot. Explorers, a staff member will come and assist you evacuating babies as well. Cruisers, you will be provided ropes to hold on to so that the kids can all be holding on tight and be together. Once evacuated, please wait for further instructions from a member of Crossroads staff. Please stay with your group at all times. Do not leave to get your own children to obtain first aid or any other reason. First aid will be brought to you if needed. So don't go running off oh, I need to go take care of this kid. Just talk to a staff member and we'll take care of that stuff. Release kids only to their parents for all ages and only after you have been given the okay to dismiss by a member of the Crossroads staff. All parents must have their kids check out their checkout receipt. Do not dismiss any kids, including elementary age, to go on their own. Do not allow parents to take their kid from your care during the process of your evacuation. Remind the parents they can walk with you, but you cannot release a kid until you have arrived at your designated location. So get to the spot first, make sure everyone's there, make sure everyone's safe, and then once that happens and you have the okay, then you can start sending them off to the parents. Earthquakes. Direct kids to drop and cover until the earthquake stops. Do not evacuate unless given instruction to do so by a member of the Crossroads staff. And then for babies, 1s, 2s, and 3s, which is explorers, at the first sign of earthquake, quickly cover the babies, 1s, 2s, and 3s with your body, ensuring that the children have room to breathe but are protected from any falling debris. If there is little or no damage to your room, please remain in the room until you receive instructions from a staff member. If instructed to evacuate, follow the evacuation procedures and quickly leave the room. So as you see, here's the map and all that stuff. Sweet. I think we're doing okay in time. No, I'm running 2 minutes behind. All right, general check-in and check-out of children. New families or returning families will be instructed to fill out a registration form. Once they have filled out a registration form, a total of 4 times, they'll be able to check in the program through their computer system. And all kids entering KidZone area should have a name tag on, whether a written or printed. If they do not have a name tag, please politely ask the parent to go check them in before they enter into your classroom or into your area. When a parent checks out a child, they must present their they must present their checkout receipt. This will either be a torn off section of the registration form or a printed receipt. If a parent does not have their receipt, politely ask them to reprint it or retrieve it from the parent who does have it. Siblings are not allowed to check out. It must be an adult. And it is imperative that you only return the kid to the parent once you receive the checkout receipt. There may be a custody situation between parents that we are unaware of. Therefore, even if you know the parent, do not return the kid to anyone other than the person with the receipt. If a parent has lost the receipt or appears to be upset regarding the enforcement of this policy, please refer them to a staff member. Under no circumstances are you to return a kid to anyone without the receipt. This includes parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, babysitters, friends, and neighbors, or staff member. They just need to be given a receipt just so we are properly handing and making sure that they're going to the right person. If a parent has children and kids in more than one area and needs to keep their receipt to check out other kids, make a mark next to the name of the kid you are releasing. This will let the next area know that the kid has already been checked out. And for kids and explorers, there are pagers available. Leaving ministry, if you guys say, hey, I need to step out of Crossroads KidZone, I know that sometimes the Lord leads, sometimes it's just not the right time. Just let us know. We ask for 30 days. Also, I'm a very grace-filled person, so if it's less than that, that's fine. It just breaks my heart. But give us some time just to know, hey, I need to step away. Because that will allow us to prepare and plan and schedule accordingly. All right, what I'm going to have you guys do for the next 10 minutes, so until 8:10, I'm going to, or maybe 12 minutes, I'm going to have you guys do a little up and rosy. I don't know what the word is, but you guys are going to have to get up and move a little bit. I'm going to have, like, most of the Explorers people are in that area. So if you're a server in Explorers, maybe go to kind of that back section. If you're planning on maybe serving more in Cruisers, let's kind of go in like this section right here. If you are planning on serving in Brink, actually let's just do Brink and Wired, just kind of in this section right here. Does that work? Cool. I know. I was trying to gauge according to where you guys were sitting. So Explorers, kind of those ones. And what I'm going to have you guys do, Cruisers this one, and then Wired and Brink over here. You guys can kind of like talk together, but I want you to kind of look through your little job responsibilities in this and go through, just read it together. All right? Go. All right, I'm gonna finish up with one last fun thing and go through the COVID procedures, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about the thing that I handed out in like just 2 minutes, just so you have an idea. This is on the very last page. I wrote temporary because our hope is that this is not for good forever. So I wrote temporary COVID-19 procedures. Josh and I walked through this. Josh is our HR and also the one who knows all the COVID stuff. He's back there. And masks. Masks are required to be worn over the mouth and nose for any adult in the Crossroads building. Explorers. Masks not required but recommended for the kids. I think that's kind of like across the board, like up to 3 years old or something like that. I don't really know, but we're recommending them, but not required. We're not going to say, hey, that kid needs to be wearing a mask. When we get into Cruisers, also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but maybe you did if you've been serving. I forgot to mention this. We did do some age shifts in this because I think it's going to be good for as we're coming back, because I don't know how many kids we're going to have in Wired and Brink, and we might need to combine to actually just feel like we have a good mass of actually teaching. So to have a fifth grader with a kindergartner, that's a huge gap. So if we can shorten that a little bit, that was a big deal. Even if it was Wired and kindergarten through third grade, which it has been, we really believe that gap between kindergarten and third grade is a bigger gap than what it is between 4 years old and kindergarten. And so a church that I used to work for used to just have kindergarten all on their own, just because they're kind of like their own little beast, just kind of how sixth grade is kind of their own little beast in themselves as well. Sixth grade is a hard age. Like, are they kids, but they're not really ready to be in middle school? I don't know. So we're putting them in fourth through kindergarten and that's our new Cruisers age. And then Explorers is like the babies, and then the 1s and 2s room, and then 3s. We used to have the rule about, once they're potty trained, they can come in over here. We're just making it 3 years old, and then 4 through kindergarten in Cruisers. We're going to start it if we feel like, this is not working, then we'll readjust and figure out what we need to do. But just so you know, that's the different changes that we made. And so, but that does kind of allow Wired and Brink to really focus on those 5 years if you guys are together, or the 3 years and 2 years with those groups. Cruisers, mask required with special accommodations. So as Josh and I were talking about this, we were like, well, some of these kids they're going to be really hard, and we're going to ask them to wear a mask, but they might keep just like pulling it off. Like, extend grace with Cruisers kids. They're 4 years old to kindergarten, so they're required, hey, can you guys please wear a mask? Or but if it's just like not working, then extend grace. Wired and Brink, mask required. Those kids can wear them, and we are requiring them there. So I don't know, I think this is going to be the check-in people and not you guys, but the pre-screen questions that we're going to give to the parents is, these questions need to be asked in the check-in process. Have they experienced any of these symptoms within the last 3 days? which as we were looking through them, Josh was like, basically any symptoms of anything, then they should not be in that room. And have they been in contact with anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19 within the last 10 days? That just is just questions that we're going to ask to try to keep everyone safe and every kid safe, every leader safe as well. Hand sanitizer and hand washing. Hand sanitizer will be provided in each room for use throughout the service. It will be up to the leaders to remind the kids to have consistent hand sanitizer use. Josh, are there hand sanitizer things hung up in the kids' classrooms? Okay, there will be bottles, and they're not just hand things, but they are like in the hallways and stuff as you walk by. So you might walk by one and just go squirt and get some hand sanitizer. If able, hand washing breaks in the bathroom are also recommended. So if you see like two kids playing together a lot and like, they should probably go wash their hands, and say, hey guys, let's go to the bathroom and go wash your hands. You guys can do little bathroom breaks and do that when necessary as well. Cleaning process. Renegade spray. I was going to bring it up, but I didn't bring it. Renegade spray. It's the hazy bottle with the blue and yellow nozzle. It also has like yellow stuff. What Josh has. This is called Renegade spray, and it's provided in the rooms, every room, and can be sprayed on anything. And this kills germs and starts killing germs. This kills germs and starts killing germs on contact and is not harmful to humans. So this can be used as needed throughout the service. Just don't, if the kid's bad, don't spray it in their face. That would be bad. So that's one of those things. If you could just spray it down, that would be helpful. But we will be going down and do a deep sanitization of the rooms after services. So like, don't feel like you have to like go in and start mopping and all this other stuff. Like we will take care of that ourselves after the services. But this just goes a long way helping. If a kid's using, like in Wired and Brink, if the kid's using the rock wall and they're just on it at the beginning, just like walk by, spray every hold, and then you can set it down. And then whoever other kid, it's just an extra challenge to try to not slip off it. But it's just a way to our goal is just to try to keep it as safe as we can and as COVID-free as we can. And I believe that we can do it if we're doing all the necessary precautions. And also with the numbers going down recently, that's also a positive note as well. So what I wanted to do is just finish the last, the last 2 minutes right now. I handed you guys out, does it say scope and cycle on it? It does say scope and cycle on it. It's called a scope and cycle. What this is just basically a month-to-month, here's the topics that's going to be taught. So, and it gives the main scripture verses throughout it as well. So, I just want it in your guys' hand just so you can kind of see what's happening. And I want to communicate and help you as best as I can. I also want you to know that my office door is open. My phone is always open if you need to contact me or if you need to set up a meeting or if you have an issue with me and you just need to talk it through. Like, that's fine too. Like, let's meet and let's talk and let's make it happen. Actually, let me do this. Let me give you my cell phone number just so you all have it. If you need to input it into your phone or just write it on your handbook or whatever you want. But I just so you guys have my cell phone number in case you need anything from me or need to contact me or anything. So here it is. It's area code 509-881-4578. Again, it's area code 509-881-4578. And so that's if you need anything or you have my number. Why do you raise your hand? Oh, repeat it one more time. You need it? Okay, my wife needs my cell phone number. 509-881-4578. So that if you need anything or like if you just need to text me, you can email me as well. You guys should have my email because I emailed from that, the tgrunink@icrossroads.org. You can email me. You can call me. You can text me. You can text me to just set up a meeting, whatever you need. I want to be here for you guys because I'm all about being there for the leaders, and I care about you guys.